Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey folks, welcome to Low Stakes Crusher. It's our very first video. Well, I mean, I had the intro video, but it's the first poker video. And I promise you going forward, there's going to be lots of videos that are about specific spots, actions you can take, strategies to use, with regard to position, your hand, the board, stack size, all that stuff. This one's not that. The reason I'm making it for my first video is that I stated that my goal, my rare tender off here, my goal here is that for us to all work together to be better. And this week, I have encountered my personal worst leak, by far my worst leak, and I lost piles as a result. All my own fault. And I mean, last night I had a ton of beats, but it doesn't matter. So you saw in the title, right? What we're talking about here is being card dead. Do not, and I repeat for myself, do not let being card dead be a reason to lose a bunch of money. Now, that seems obvious, right? But there's a sort of a specific approach that I want to talk about here with regard to any kind of tilt, and this is a kind of tilt, right? You get frustrated because you're card dead, and what happens? So eventually your frustration gets stronger, and you start opening wider, trying to find spots where there's no spots. I personally raised a river bet from it was a $125 river bet into a $200 pot. I made it $575, only to get the old, I have the second nuts. I had no reason to try to find that spot terrible. But this is the thing regarding that, right? Poker is hard enough to beat when you play as well as you can play, right? We have variance. We have sometimes tough games. Maybe you've sat and there's no good games and it's really needy and hard to navigate to be profitable. Maybe you found yourself in a game where there's some players who are better than you are and the game is tough, right? For all these reasons, poker is hard enough to beat. If at any time you are playing worse than you know how to play, that's a disaster, right? For that reason, hard enough to win as it is when you play as well as you can play. And when you get in a situation where frustration leads you to play worse than you know how to play, I mean, you might as well just, take some of your bankroll, a third of your bankroll, and throw it out the window of your car, right? I mean, it's a complete disaster when we do this. And people do it for all kinds of different tilty reasons. My personal thing, and I know I've seen it, a lot of people have the same thing. I'm not a particularly tilty guy, but it's like the juicier the game is, and this game was unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. Like a few times a year, a game is this good. And I just can't get a hold of it. I'm super card dead. The few spots I get into become ridiculous beats. And that's what was happening last night. So those two frustrations sort of coalesced into me punting off a bunch of money for really not any good reason. So this is a short video today. I'm posting up more all together with this one. If you're just now joining on my new channel here at Low Stakes Crusher, you're gonna see a few in there, and I hope you come back and check them out. If you want this kind of content, if you think that my mission here is worthy of your attention, I'm begging you, like the videos and subscribe. Hugely important for YouTube channels for that. Mostly so that people can find us, right? There's a lot of poker content. I'd love to, to grab a few folks, a little percentage of people who are interested in poker stuff and maybe find our channel. But yeah, don't let being card dead lose you extra money by playing too wide or whatever. And I will tell you that we all know, right, that a lot about poker requires discipline. It requires discipline to take time to learn things. It requires discipline to play reasonable ranges pre-flop. It requires discipline to govern your actions over the course of a hand, where you really want to draw, but you know that you're not getting the odds to draw to a hand, or it's a poor situation for drawing. It takes discipline to lay down. When you have a big hand, like a big pocket pair, and you meet a lot of resistance, and like normally you should be good, but you're probably not. It takes discipline to lay down. All these things. Poker is just like rife with situations that require discipline. And this is no different. And what I would say is this: if you are someone who can like take a break and walk around and truly get a mental reset, then if you detect any type of frustration, card debt or any other type of tilty frustration, if you detect that your frustration level is enough that it might affect your play, and we all know ourselves, right? You know when frustration is going to affect your play. And if you get to that point, then if you're that guy, go get up and walk around, or that person, I should say. Get up and walk around and reset. But if it takes more than that, quit. You've got to quit. It doesn't matter how good the game is. I promise you, there's almost no such thing as a game better than the one I was in last night. I mean, you could add up the other 7 people I was sitting with all together, and combined, they are about like 38% of a poker player. I mean, and I don't say that as an insult. This is a fun, we're all gambling and having a good time poker game. This is not a, super grinder, what we used to say back in the day, like my little logo, the unhappy, beaten down hoodie and beats guy. That's my logo. I love that guy, even though it's kind of old school because nobody wears beats anymore. I just love my sad, defeated, dead hoodie and beats guy. But this game wasn't that. This is fun. People are drinking. There's a ton of money on the table. Everyone's having a ball. So yeah, I don't mean that in an insulting way. It just wasn't that type of game. And certainly, tons of money to be won in that game. But it doesn't matter if you're tilty and letting it affect your play, like I did last night, and I did again in a different session several days ago. You gotta quit. No amount of run good in a good game is going to come along and save you from yourself. I promise you. Very rarely. So that's today's tip. Tilt in general, but particularly card debt. If you sense your frustration getting to where it's going to affect your play, get out of town. Come back another day, fresh. The games will be good. You're going to be able to play with those same people again, probably. Don't do it. Don't give up your money. Like I said, it's my first video because this is by far my worst problem in poker. I'm not very tilty. I don't get too frustrated with beats. But for whatever reason, if I'm in a really juicy game and I just can't get a hold of it because I'm very, very card dead and the few spots I get go wrong, I'm human, I admit it. That gets to me over time. And I need to make it not get to me. And in the meantime, I got to get out of Dodge when it does get to me. So I hope you found this useful. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that you're here. We're just starting this thing out. I really have high hopes for this channel as far as doing a lot of good work together, but not requiring this, a super dedication of 20, 30 hours a week. We can learn together. We can take bite-sized chunks of information and learning and use those chunks to get better. Like I said in my logo thingy, right? We can use those to play better today. No requirement of extensive studying. Let's just take little bite-sized chunks, make little improvements incrementally, and win more. That's the goal. Have a great day. Thanks so much for coming by, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks.